Eamonn Holmes issues concerning health update after nasty fall. Eamonn Holmes has issued fans with a concerning health update after recently suffering a fall during a live TV broadcast. GB News viewers were given an almighty shock when the news host, 65, toppled off his chair live on air during a chat with social commentator Charlie Rowley. After hitting the floor, the former This Morning presenter shouted to the other guests that he was fine, 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 and urged them to carry on during the incident. Eamonn initially blamed the wonky wheels on his chair, which left his co-hosts gasping and caused one off-camera producer to shout, "Oh my gosh." However, after initially downplaying the fall, saying he wasn't the only person in the GB News studio to have taken a tumble, he's now issued a heartbreaking update. The Northern Irish broadcaster made the admission during a segment on his GB News breakfast show, which sees him present alongside Ellie Costello. Joined by Tim Vincent and Don Neeson to delve into the latest headlines, they discuss the research into exercising helping to reduce a person's risk of developing cancer. "This makes me feel awful, because I would have been pro-exercise, but I can't move," Eamonn shared. "I'm in a wheelchair now." He added, "I can't put on trainers, I can't change, I can't go to the showers, I can't do things, I can't stand up. There are a lot of people who are incapable of exercising, and therefore, rightly so, an increase of cancer growing." Offering sympathy, Tim told him, "You're obviously in a really difficult position. Any exercise I think is going to help, especially for these people who have had cancer once and can get out there." He's had to deal with numerous complications in recent years, including slipped discs in his back, ongoing spinal issues, and a double hip replacement. Following the fall, GB News took a 6-minute advert break, after which Eamonn joked that he was still alive, but that he didn't like the chairs in the studio anymore. He said afterwards, "The fall was a shock for me because I had a fall 2 weeks ago in my bathroom that hospitalized me, and that hit me right in the back. And that hit me again right in the back. Really, really sore, really sore." A source then told the Mail, "Everyone at GB News is rallying round Eamonn. He's had an horrendous couple of years, but he has the full support of the channel and all of his colleagues." Eamonn's health problems have presented challenges for him and for the channel, but bosses are working on ways they can help him in any way they can. In 2016, the breakfast TV presenter revealed that he'd undergone hip surgery after complaining of persistent pain for a while beforehand. 2 years later, he came down with shingles, and in 2022, after the COVID-19 pandemic, he underwent back surgery after suffering from chronic pain in his back for months. Eamonn confessed that he thought he was dead after a fall at his home earlier this year, which saw his feet fly up in the air after crashing onto a cold, hard, slippery floor. He explained, "I was very worried about me. I fell on the bathroom floor, and once I was down, I couldn't get up. It was the worst bang to my head and shoulder. I went down and I said, I'm dead. I have never had a bang to the head as sore and as powerful as that before. I lay there and I thought, where's the blood? There was nothing, no blood, no split, nothing like that. Got a story? If you've got a celebrity story, video or pictures, get in touch with the metro.co.uk entertainment team by emailing us celebtips@metro.co.uk, calling 020-3615-2145 or by visiting our Submit Stuff page. We'd love to hear from you." Eamonn Holmes' girlfriend shares, "Year from hell," as he shares health woes. Eamonn Holmes' girlfriend Katie Alexander has lifted the lid on what it has been like dating the GB News presenter after 1 year together. Eamonn Holmes' girlfriend has lifted the lid on her year of hell, following the broadcaster's split from ex-wife Ruth Langsford. Katie Alexander, 43, who started dating the GB News anchor, 65, last year, also warned fans that she doesn't forget, in a candid post on her Instagram stories on Monday, June 2. Opening up to her loyal legion of fans, she admitted that 2024 had been the year of hell, with lies about me and death threats from people who have never met me. She added, "Not only did my mental health suffer, but also my children's did. One thing I don't do is forget. But a huge thank you to my friends and family who know me and the truth and have supported me through the past year." The alarming revelation comes in the midst of a divorce battle between Eamonn and the Loose Women host, 65, over their £3.6 million home. The mum of one has been granted a severance of joint tenancy of the 6-bed property they purchased in 2014. According to public documents, if Ruth were to die, her share of the house in Weybridge, Surrey, would not go to her former spouse Eamonn, who she shares son Jack with. Meanwhile, Katie's relationship with the GB News presenter appears to be going from strength to strength. The couple went public with their relationship on Instagram for the first time last week after a year of dating. But it hasn't been plain sailing for the presenter, who sparked fears among his followers after he issues a heartbreaking health update online last week. He vowed to redouble my efforts to walk again after being confined to a wheelchair. In a bittersweet post alongside a snap of himself at full strength from 2022, he penned, "Great picture popped up from 3 years ago, but it's made me sad. I could walk. Got to redouble my efforts." Eamonn's well-being was also a cause for concern after he fell off his chair during his GB News breakfast show. The Belfast-born journalist had a double hip replacement in 2016 but has been suffering from chronic pain since a follow-up spinal operation back in September 2022. Eamonn Holmes issued warning over will amid divorce with Ruth Langsford. Exclusive. Loose Women's Ruth Langsford is thought to have remained at the Surrey home she previously shared with Eamonn Holmes, following their split last year. Eamonn Holmes and Ruth Langsford have been warned that their respective assets could be at risk if they fail to take a crucial step in their divorce. The former This Morning presenters revealed they were in the process of a divorce in May 2024 after a 14-year marriage. Last month, Ruth, who shares 23-year-old son Jack with Eamonn, sparked speculation that their marriage could finally be over for good when she removed her wedding ring for the first time. Up until that point, she told fans she had chosen to continue wearing her ring while she is still married. Though this may be a sign of closure, there has so far been no official confirmation regarding the finalization of their divorce. Emma Spruce, a barrister at 4 Petabytes, has emphasized the importance of updating wills when it comes to parting ways with a spouse. She advised, "It is definitely recommended that both parties update their wills, as without a valid and up-to-date wills where divorce proceedings have not concluded, assets even where severed are at risk of being left to the other party." Eamonn and Ruth, both aged 65, bought their 6-bedroom Surrey mansion in 2014, which is currently valued at £3.6 million. The Loose Women regular has remained at the property, while Eamonn is understood to have moved into a London flat where he commutes to and from his job at GB News. According to The Sun, Ruth has taken legal steps to ensure that Eamonn won't inherit her share of their property. Emma points out that staying in the marital home during divorce proceedings is not necessarily straightforward. She elaborated, "While proceedings are ongoing, it is typically very difficult to force a sale, because the property must be considered as part of the financial settlement without disadvantaging either party. If one person wishes to stay in the home, there must be sufficient financial resource to provide suitable housing for the other. Avoiding the sale of the Marshall home is more feasible in higher asset cases like this one." Furthermore, the barrister says if property is split in a divorce, the starting point for assets, such as the family home, is 50-50. However, the court does not always decide assets should be split equally, especially when one spouse is the primary carer for young children and therefore has reduced earning power, she stressed. Nonetheless, it's not guaranteed that this case will end up in court. Langsford and Holmes may be able to resolve matters privately, through their lawyers or other out-of-court processes such as mediation or arbitration. Meanwhile, Eamonn has found love again with marriage counselor Katie Alexander, while Ruth has remained single.